I have a couple things I want to do before I assume the chair, and I want to express my great gratitude to my friend from Massachusetts for his willingness to sit tight for a little bit. And I was sitting here thinking about the two men that I want to talk about, and I was thinking about how similar they are and how different their backgrounds are, but how similar their goals in life and their interest in the people that they serve are, and it's the great irony of our democracy that regardless of where you come from, if you come to serve the public, you come to love the public, and you come to believe in the work that you do and believe that every person has to be given an opportunity. And so I first want to offer my great condolences to the family of Mayor Denny Walaker from our great city of Fargo, North Dakota. It's really with a heavy heart that I come to the floor today to pay tribute to the mayor of Fargo, Dennis Walaker, or those of us who knew him well, Denny, who passed away Tuesday after a very short but aggressive fight in his battle against his cancer. His passing, I think, shocked most of us and certainly saddened all of us. Mayor Walaker was a giant in Fargo, not only in stature, he was a big guy, but as a leader and fighter for the city he loved. He dedicated his entire life to public service, first serving in the North Dakota Department of Transportation, later joining the city of Fargo as a civil engineer. For 40 years, Denny has been a fixture in this growing city, from leading the city's flood fight in 1997 as operations manager for the city he later became mayor for. One cannot think of Fargo without thinking of Mayor Walaker and seeing in every corner the impact he made, whether it was infrastructure, investment improvements to provide a strong foundation for a thriving community and city, to the revitalization of the city's downtown, to his focus on those within the city who are less fortunate. He led the city through unprecedented growth, while always working diligently to make sure the region secured the long-term flood protection that was necessary to sustain that growth. He was always willing to listen and care deeply for all the people of the city of Fargo. The people of Fargo always came first for him, no matter what. For many of us, Denny will always be remembered for leading the city's flood fighting effort, particularly in 1997 and 2009. When the city of Fargo confronted a historic flood, he had keen instincts when it came to understanding and predicting the Red River and wasn't afraid to push back on the so-called experts. His calm, clear, and decisive decision-making in 2009, when he made the decision that the city would not evacuate when facing record-setting flood levels, but instead stay and fight together. That image of him building our city and building our community will forever be etched in the memories and the minds of those of us who knew Denny. However, for all of the discussion about the flood fight, there's so much more Denny did in addition to his role as chief flood fighter, but much of it was under the radar. It was away from the spotlight. Just a few weeks ago, I was with the mayor in one of his last public appearances. It was an event where we were honored for the work that we had both done on affordable housing. And at that event, he remarked to me and the others who were there about how proud he was to receive that award and how proud he was about the work that he had done on affordable housing, because he told all of us he wanted to make sure that Fargo was a city for every citizen, that every citizen in Fargo had an opportunity for a good home. He was passionate for fighting for those less fortunate, and his heart and his personality really were unmatched. People like Mayor Walaker are the unsung heroes of our democracy. He stepped up to serve when his city needed him, and he was a friend and hero to so many. A few weeks ago, I was in Fargo for the college game day And Denny couldn't make it because he was recuperating from surgery at his home. And I had a chance to talk to him on the phone, and I was explaining the scene for him in downtown Fargo, the part of Fargo that he had revitalized and really nurtured back to an incredible, healthy center of activity for that great city. And I was telling him how proud he would be to not only see every citizen there enjoying, but the work that had been done by the city workforce and the fact that Fargo was able to move that game day effort in such short notice. And I think it really is indicative of the history of Fargo. And that history was part of the history that Denny built. And so he will always have a place in my heart. He will always have a place in the heart of so many in Fargo and the surrounding areas and really throughout the state of North Dakota. I love Denny because I used to laugh at him. I was pretty sure he was the only public official in North Dakota that had a picture of Barack Obama on his wall. He had met the president. He believed in a lot of what the president had said, obviously not on everything, but he believed in public service, and he believed in the challenges and respecting people who stepped up. We mourn Denny's loss, but we celebrate his life as an incredible example of a leader. He was one of a kind. I offer my sincerest condolences to his wife, Mary, his daughters, grandchildren, and his entire family. But I also extend my sincerest condolences on the loss of a great mayor, a great public servant, and a great friend to a great city, the city of Fargo.